Hello.
Do you want to introduce it?
All right then. All right then. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Lead Her podcast with special guest me. Leanne asked me to do the intro today instead of her. We are just having a cup of coffee, reminiscing on 2023, and thought this would be a perfect opportunity for us to go through some of our favorite memories, moments, and experiences. We love sitting, especially when we're on holiday, looking at our camera roll, don't we?
Yeah,
Mainly photos. Mainly photos of Lola.
Welcome back. This is going to be our last episode of 2023, and I thought it'd be perfect. We're here in Portimao in Portugal, and every year it goes past so fast, doesn't it? And it's really easy to maybe focus on the things you haven't done or you haven't achieved this year, or the goals that you've just not done yet or completed yet. But I always just love to sit and go through my phone month to month, like scrolling through, and really just it's such a nice reminder of the big moments, but also lots of the little moments too. So I thought it'd be a great idea for us both to sit down, because it'll give like different perspective, because we both think very differently as well, don't we, like men and women. So I thought it'd be good for us both to just kind of share some of our highs, probably all our highs of 2023.
Okay.
And I recommend you guys do this too, and just take a wee bit of time to sit down and go through your phone and favourite all your favourite little photos from the year. So, do you want to start?
I'll go first. I actually haven't pinpointed any in particular. I did go through them yesterday, but I'm just gonna wing it. I'm actually gonna start before the turn of the year, and I'm actually gonna start with a low, which was obviously December the 31st, when we had a massive flood in our gaff, and your friend Tasha rang us to say there's a big hole in our ceiling, and there's now a new pond.
New water feature.
There's a new water feature in our kitchen. So that was obviously,
actually, yeah, because I wasn't even going to mention that, because I was thinking of like, right, let's just start from the start of January. But
that was the start of January,
because it was New Year's night when we got home from Spain from last year. And our friends were like, oh, come round to ours for New Year. And we were like, no, like our house was soaking wet. It was stinking. Everything was damaged. Our whole kitchen roof had fell in. It was freezing cold, wasn't it, the house? So I think I actually popped open a bottle of champagne that we got for a wedding. And I had some champagne and cleaned the kitchen for New Year's night. So that's how we spent New Year's Eve.
Yes, and then we spent 10 months trying to get a house sorted. It was far from ideal, but it did make us appreciate A, what we had, and then also B, how we like just to not have mess everywhere, and just like additional. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, it was not a nice time, but it was what it was.
Yeah.
And it's really funny when things like that happen. It is an absolute nightmare, but you just get through it, don't you? You just have to deal with it. And I don't think what else did we not have? Was the cooker working?
No, the cooker. That's what I mean. Like the simple things, just like having a cooker,
pasta, cooking anything. It was an absolute nightmare.
Even pots and pans and your cutlery in a cutlery drawer, not your cutlery in the pots and pans, because we had put the pots and pans and then had to put the cutlery. So like again, the simple things are just being able to go to the kitchen and open a cutlery drawer and now know, oh, there's the cutlery as an example.
Everything was in the only cupboards that were left was 2, and everything was just flung into them. So yeah, that was a lovely start to New Year.
It was a different start. It was a different start to New Year. It tested us and challenged us in different ways.
It was. We had a very busy January to start with. It kind of kicked off with a bang. So we got back from that, and then when I put down here was one of my highlights was we did a meet up with all our members, our Lead Her members, but at the time it was still my old name, which was FFP, which Female Fitness Program. So we had all our members come out, dress up and look glam and feel nice, because every time we do meet up, it's out for a walk or it's out doing something active or it's in their gym wear. And I was like, let's dress up, let's feel amazing, let's do our hair, let's put some makeup on, and all have some dinner together. So they all came through and they just all looked absolutely gorgeous, and it was just such a fun, lovely night. It's just so nice to give everybody big hugs and everybody just to see everybody just chatting and getting on. It was just a great little day for us all, and we planned our year. So that was one of my first highlights of January.
Yeah, it was a fantastic evening, and everybody did look fantastic.
Yeah.
Mine was probably like in Jan was us skiing. We went to Teen and I snowboarded for 3 days and then skied for 3 days. You skied for the whole time. And actually just watching your progression with skiing and seeing your competence and confidence in a set of ski boots has been amazing.
Yeah, I think it was my best season of skiing to date, even though I did have a little mishap where my boots were too loose, remember? And I was like, oh, my shins were on fire and I was really struggling for the first 2 days. And then someone said to me, can you wiggle your toes? And I was like, yep. And they were like, you should, actually, can you move your ankle? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, your boots are not the right size. So I went back to the shop and the guy's like, you told me these fitted. And I was like, I don't know how a ski boot's meant to fit. I'm still a newbie here. But I got new boots and it was just like a different level. It was amazing. Yeah. But yeah, we've had probably one of our biggest arguments skiing, haven't we?
Probably our only arguments. Probably one of our only arguments.
Yeah, I had an absolute meltdown.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, it's just
no,
so hard.
you did. Yes, you did have a meltdown. Yes, not we, you.
But yeah, so my skiing
has come on massively.
Yeah,
it's progressed.
Came on leaps and bounds.
And now you can't stop.
And I actually went to La Folie Douce. Is that what it is?
Yeah, the Folie Douce, yeah.
Which I had never been able to get to before. So we got to actually experience that. And I've actually got a photo here of a dog in one of the ski cabins, which is one of my favourites. He's just sat in the ski cabin, a little, what's he? He's like what are they called again?
A beagle.
A beagle, and he's just sat there. He's got a little scarf on and he's just sat in his little hut. He's so cute. So yeah, skiing was a good one this year.
Yeah, really good. Okay,
yeah,
February.
Perfect. Oh, we're in February already?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I'll go into February. But I've just got one picture here that I've saved, which is a photo of Lola with the sunset. I just love sunsets, like from November, December, January, February, March. They're always like the most beautiful. So I loved, if you go through my phone, it's full of photos of sunsets and sunrises, but there's a beautiful picture of Lola with her little jumper on in the icy grass and a beautiful sunset behind her. So I've saved that. February, I've got your event.
Yes.
And I've saved it here as well because it was a great event, but it was also an event where I think I felt most comfortable at. Because sometimes, like being Joe's partner and you're working with all these coaches, a lot of people are like, oh, do you work for Joe? And I'm like, no, I'm a coach. I think it was one of your first events where I felt more that I could just be myself and be my own coach, and I wasn't just your partner kind of thing. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think there's been a huge amount of growth and evolution this year from you, hasn't there?
Yeah, what about you?
We've obviously had my event, which was the most well-attended event, which was amazing and so good to obviously connect. We obviously went for a lock dip with some of the team before, so I've got some good images and videos of that, which is obviously a highlight. I had High Rocks for the first time in February with Mark, which was also brilliant, and we also went which I've got here, to a Six Nations game. We'd never been to a Six Nations game to go and watch Scotland versus Wales. So that was a really good experience because we love rugby and love going to Murrayfield, but we've never been able to get Six Nations tickets. So being able to go and watch a Six Nations game just felt extra special. Yeah,
it was amazing. Our friend Hannah and Grant had spare tickets. Our other two friends couldn't go actually because they had a baby, didn't they? So we sneaked in right in there and got the tickets, and it was absolutely amazing. And we won as well, didn't we? Yeah, it was a great day. What was I going to say? How did you find High Rocks? Because I'm doing High Rocks this year.
Yeah, High Rocks was good. I think it was one of the best events I've ever been to, coming from a footballing background and obviously playing in like a team and being obviously in that type of environment. I've almost missed that with like bodybuilding and the Ironmans and even like the other kind of functional fitness-based stuff that I've done. Although actually there has been some team stuff that we have now done, but I think from an atmosphere perspective, from an environmental perspective, just from an accessibility perspective, in terms of just it's something for pretty much everybody. I think it's really, really good. It was so well ran. Yeah, the energy and the environment was really cool. So yeah, I can see why it's so popular and see why so many people get the bug for it. Because I think it's great on so many levels.
Yeah. Definitely. And I think when I was watching you, I was so surprised at the people that were doing it. There was like older guys, like proper older guys. Like I'm saying, like, I don't know. It's hard to judge people's age, but I would say like they were easily 65. And they were like doing the burpee broad jumps. And I was like, wow, go on them. Like it's amazing. And it's just everybody doing their own attempt at it and doing it as a team and just having fun with it. It's not always about being first, is it? Well, maybe for you, but
in my world, everything is
in
about
your
being
competitive head.
in my competitive world. Everything's about winning all the
Any
time.
others for February?
No, February. That was pretty much it. I think. I missed Mark Rhodes and Shah came and spent a couple of days with us, so that was nice. We had haggis, neeps, and tatties, which is always enjoyable, and obviously nice to spend a couple of days with them, which was brilliant. Oh, it was also your birthday.
Yeah, I was waiting for that. I was looking at that photo and I was like, I wonder.
It was also your birthday. What did we do for your birthday? I can't remember
Mark
what we
and
did for you.
Shah came.
Oh, Mark and Shah came up.
Yeah.
What an incredible surprise.
Yeah. So I've got your event for February. I think I've mentioned that. And then one I've got here is my friend's baby, Harry. It was his first birthday. So I've got a picture of him here in his wee suit and his little bow tie. I can't believe that was a year of his birthday already, but it's funny, me and my friend going along and it's like all these children and all these mums and we're just standing there like, what do we do? don't have a child. But it was amazing. And then Six Nations, I also started this podcast in February, which is wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
A year of
already.
consistency.
Yeah, and I think I've kind of mentioned, actually, I don't know if I did mention this. I mentioned this in an email actually, is like, in your head, it's like, right, I want to get a podcast every week.
Yep.
And you set that expectation. And I did kind of do it mostly, but I think there was 5 weeks since February, end of February. So there's 5 episodes that we missed. And I thought, that's actually not bad. And I think it's like that with everything. Like, we always set that goal of like, if you don't do it for 1 week, then you've messed up. Like, what's the point? And then you can just get into that role of just not doing it. Whereas it was like, nope, I've missed 1 week. So like, we are definitely getting onto it the week after. And just knowing life gets in the way and just knowing it's never going to be that perfect attempt at it. So yeah, I was really happy with that, starting the podcast. And I've got a picture here as well with like 2 of my high school friends. So I normally like speak to them separately, Michaela and Jamie. Knew them from, Michaela I knew from primary school, and then Jamie I met in high school, and I was one of the first people that he ever told he was gay to. So that was really special. So like, we've always like, and it's weird because we probably had about 7 or 8 years of like not communicating or speaking to each other, but like as soon as we meet up, as soon as we chat, it's just so easy, and it's just like we've never been apart, and it's so lovely. And it's the same with Michaela. So I met up with Jamie and Michaela together, which was just so lovely and just like really kind of brought me back to the past. And then also Michaela's wee boy came as well, so I've got a picture with them. I've got my birthday, and the reason I've just took a picture of my birthday is like, I feel like I'm so spoiled on my birthday, like just like by all your family. Like I just get all these like lovely gifts, and it's just so lovely. So I think I've got a picture there with like a tea gift thing your grandma gave me, and it's just so lovely. So yeah, and then I've got a podcast with Shar, which was my first guest on the podcast. So February was another good month.
And that looks like we're shooting a porno.
So the picture of where I'd record our podcast, it's in our spare room. So there's a big double bed there, and then I've got big lights, and then the camera's in the middle, but the bedroom's in the bed's at the background. So it looks as if you're maybe going to record something.
Looks like we're making an adult movie.
But that's what I'm facing. That's my point of view. It's not. So the camera's facing me. It's not facing
the
the
next
bed,
door neighbours do wonder what we do.
yeah, they probably do.
With the big lights, big lights in the camera.
The big lights, yeah.
Cool, amazing. Okay, March, I have got a photo of you with donkeys. We went to an incredible hotel in Birmingham, Hawkstone Park, which I think is actually just outside of Birmingham. I was speaking at an event, so we went down. It was dog friendly. It was this big, massive, grand hotel, wasn't it?
It's kind of like, what's that program everybody loves?
I don't know.
Like,
what program does everybody love?
It's that program everybody loved on telly. We never ever watched it, but it was like,
I wouldn't know then. I don't know then.
You do know, because everybody watched it, and it was like, it's very old fashioned, and like back in like the 60s and
if you know what Leanne's talking,
if you know what
Leanne's talking about, please message.
It'll come to me during this podcast.
So we went there, which is brilliant. The drive was like a mile, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was like from the gate to actually the hotel, it was like a mile long. So we took Lola. Leanne's favorite thing in the whole entire world is like my entire life existence and purpose and mission and vision is to be able to get us a house where we can literally have donkeys, because that's Leanne's life. So there was donkeys. So I've got photos of you with donkeys. We went to Devon, and my parents were renovating their house. They didn't have any hot water, and they were currently away in Australia. So I remember having to sit in a bath of 3 inches of cold water, having to wash myself in freezing cold water with Radox mint tea tree. So that was an experience. I ran my fastest half marathon.
Wow.
1 hour.
How fast was it?
1 hour 20.
Wow.
And also probably in March, I would say other highlight was I played bowls with my grandma. She absolutely loves bowls and is, from what we gather, incredibly good at bowls.
She's the queen of bowls.
Yeah, she's the queen of bowls.
Like director of like the team.
And so she took us for a game of bowls, and it made me realise the art of bowls and actually the skill that's required and the technicality of it, and how difficult it actually is to actually do. I think I bowled it onto the other green about 3 times, but yeah, that was also fun. So there's probably a few of my ones in March. There are other ones as well, but I think that's more than plenty.
I was thinking, like, before this podcast, I was like, let's not just share photos of Lola the whole way through it, because our phone is just covered in photos of Lola, isn't it? Was that March or was that February?
Yeah, this was March.
Yeah.
Oh, and we also went away in March to a bothy in Forfar, which was brilliant. That was really, really nice. And they had their own private pool, or we had our own private pool, which you could just hire out, and that's where we played games.
We played games, which was really fun. Cool. Dan?
That's it for me.
Yeah. March as well. Oh God, March is another busy month. You know you're going to be in the bad books. Didn't mention someone else's special birthday.
Oh, TC's birthday.
My dad's 60th
I've not got
birthday.
photos of that though.
Oh, yeah. So I've got a picture here of me and my brother lifting my dad up for his 60th birthday, and he looks like a child, doesn't he? So yeah, it was nice to go out and see him turn 60. So we went out for dinner in Glasgow, which was nice. Then I've got the same as you, going away to that place in Hawkstone Park. It says here Hawkstone Hotel.
Yep.
And it's still annoying me. I can't remember that program. It's annoying me. But actually, I've taken a picture of this as well, because it was a trip down to Devon, but that was a run that we'd done, and I was recovering from injury last year. So I think that might have been one of our first runs back post injury.
Yep.
So that was a pretty kind of big moment for me.
What was also a big moment was that actually what happened was the next day, I've not got a photo of this, but I was speaking at an event, and I told Leanne that I'd be an hour, and I ended up being 2 hours because I was chatting to people afterwards, but I had my phone in my pocket. So Leanne was wondering where I was, and I was obviously
before you move on, you did say to me, park outside in an hour's time, because it was like you couldn't park and stay there. You had to you were only allowed to stay there for like 10 minutes or whatever. You couldn't park the car. Yeah. So you're like, in an hour's time, park outside. Me knowing Joe, I waited an hour and a half. Then I parked outside. So I'm sat in this parking gate in a really busy town. It's all one way. I don't know where to park or where to kind of go. So I thought I'll wait here for him, ringing him, no answer. Okay, I'll give him another 10 minutes.
Yeah, so anyway, I was slightly later than I'd anticipated because I was chatting to some incredibly lovely people. And I then came out and I couldn't find Leanne, and she was not in the. I was in the bad books, and we were so incredibly hungry. And then we had to drive from Birmingham then down to Devon. And there's one thing that I really don't like, and that is wasabi. And so we went into Tesco and we bought sushi. And when I'm driving, obviously Leanne prepares the sushi and then feeds me, and then you literally just layered this piece of sushi. And obviously I don't look because I'm too busy driving. And you literally layered this piece of sushi with so much wasabi, and I had no clue, and literally stuck it in my mouth, and I could just feel you just shaking with like laughter /
revenge.
Anger / revenge, as I was having to pretend as if I wasn't even affected by the wasabi.
Like wasabi
Yeah, that changed it for me. Yeah, so that was also that was a highlight.
Yeah, that was funny. That did make me giggle. I've done bowls with your grandma as well, because she I think with I don't have my grandparents anymore, and you do. You have both, and I just feel like if you have them, you should spend more time with them, basically. And I feel like we went out for lunch with your grandma, and she was just telling us all these stories of her childhood and growing up, and I just think they don't have many people to talk to, and you can, like, now I wish I could have asked my grandma and granddad more questions. So I think it's really nice when we get those time with them to just let them chat away and tell you stuff, because you can just see them light up when they're telling you stories. And she was really desperate to take us to bowls as well, wasn't she?
Yeah, just to show us how good she was and how bad we
Yeah.
were, pretty much.
Yeah, but it's such a skill, and yeah, I was terrible at it, but you got there. You got much better.
I didn't want to say anything, but yes, I'm going to be competitive bowls player. And I'm going to hopefully get on the team.
Then I've got my what do you call it?
Greenhouse.
I bought a little cheap greenhouse this year because I feel like up in Scotland veggies don't really seem to grow as well. So I thought, let's try a greenhouse this year. I didn't want to get a big glass one because I didn't want to commit in case I don't use it. So I got a little cheapy plasticky one for my first year. So I put that up in March, and then I've got that trip away where we had the pool, and I've saved that as well because, like, when you get older, I think I mentioned this in my last podcast actually, like when you get older, like you stop playing. And I guess we don't have kids, and maybe when you have kids you do that kind of bit of playing and fun with them, and it really helps you switch off and you really belly laugh and chuckle, don't you? And we had this pool booked out for an hour. We had a goal, we had a ball, and we're just doing handstands. We were jumping around like idiots, and it was just like, man, it's so sad that we do lose that, because almost like, again, maybe you just get stuck being an adult, don't you? But yeah, having a proper chuckle and just playing about in the pool and being idiots, and it was just amazing. So it was definitely something that I was like, right, I want to do more of that this year.
Yeah,
so that was March.
Yeah, it was great fun, wasn't it? That was having that. The pool was amazing. The views were brilliant
Yeah.
as well. So good.
Yeah,
so
it was a lovely
good.
little stay, and I think you got that as a belated birthday gift for me as well. So
yes,
that was nice.
Amazing. Okay, April. April, we went to the garden centre, which is good. April, I ran an event in Manchester, which wasn't in Manchester, which everybody took the piss out of me for because it was supposed to be in Manchester and it wasn't actually in Manchester. So that was good to obviously head down there and obviously spend a day with our coaches.
I didn't go to that one.
Love those little events. Nope. You didn't. It was just me, Aaron, Jen, and then obviously Dan and Ben and Troy obviously came up. Aside from that, we joined a health club spa place that we'd been meaning to do for years, and we kind of had never really given ourselves permission to do that. So we actually got a membership at a nice hotel with like good spa facilities, just for us to be able to have a bit of a switch off time, maybe on a Sunday and also on a Wednesday. So I've got photos of us there for the first time, which was enjoyable for the periods of times that we used it. And just, I think for the both of us, it was a little thing just for us to be able to leave our phone in a locker and then actually just go and be somewhere else and be somewhere different without then feeling as though that you were exposed by tech and or you were just in the confinements because we trained at home. It's actually been nice to actually just go to a nice environment and just be in a slightly different space and place for a period of time, even just from like a creative perspective. So I think that was it. I've also got a photo of my granddad on FaceTime to us, and my granddad is struggling with his eyesight as he's now getting older, and so whenever we're on FaceTime, quite often we'll be on a call with him, but you actually can't see like him because the camera's pointing towards the roof. And so I've just got loads of photos. So I've got a photo of me on FaceTime to him, and I can just see his fringe, and then I can just see the ceiling. But again, that almost goes back to what Leanne was saying earlier around obviously just the connection, the relationship, the time that you spend with them, and just the conversations that you have, and obviously how important they are and how much you value and appreciate those kind of, even those small little things. So yeah, that probably stands out for me.
Perfect. Is that all of April?
I think so. There's probably others, yeah, but that's probably a lot.
Cool. Right. Well, I'll do the good things. We met Chess for the first time. Chess, who is Craig was meant to be your best man at the wedding, wasn't he? But Craig ended up having his other friend's wedding at the same day or the day after ours. So there was no way he could get from Italy to France on a flight. So he had to make that tough call of whose wedding to go to. So he chose Johnny. For Johnny's wedding. They had grew up for years together, but he was supposed to be our best man, but him and Sophie had their baby Chess. So we met her on the 1st of April. We went out for dinner.
Yeah, it's lovely.
and drinks.
She's just
in Glasgow.
most
It was
beautiful
lovely,
baby.
and she's such a gorgeous little girl. They're like the hottest couple ever. So there was no doubt that their baby was just going to be absolutely stunning. So we met Chess for the first time. We also went to Jack and Rachel Wilson's wedding, which was the start of wedding season.
Why have I not got photos of this?
I don't know.
I don't know photos
but
of
yeah,
this.
that was absolutely awesome to kind of get dressed up and get her hair and makeup done and get your suit on and go out to a wedding and watch them
That's
get married.
crazy. That was April.
Yeah, and it was really funny. We're out. It's funny when you go to weddings and like we didn't really know many people there, but the couple that were sat next to me, they would go to visit where my granny and granddad lived in Ireland in the same little town, like literally the road down from my granny's house. And it's like the chances of meeting someone that would go to that place is just wild. So that was really kind of cool conversation with them. I also have a picture of my laptop and a coffee cup in the sun on the 3rd of April. So that must have been the first time that we actually had some nicer weather that you could actually sit outside. And that's like my favourite thing to do is to sit in the garden in the sun. I am such a sun worshipper. And that's why we're in Portugal, because I just love having some nice heat. I've got a really good picture here of some honey glazed ham, which is your favourite.
Yeah, it's my favourite thing, yeah.
Absolute favourite meal. So I've got a picture of that. One of our league term members, Ashley, did a photo shoot and she looked absolutely insane. So I've got that. Sorry, I've got loads for April. I've got loads for each of mine, but I just love all these wee photos. I've also got a picture here of me actually in Ireland, but this time I went with my mum and my sister Holly. I think I talked about this in the last podcast as well, but we went to Ireland, and I went to Ireland like all my childhood. And even in like my late teens, and a lot of it was involved of sitting in the pub and drinking and sitting with family in the pub and drinking. This was probably the first time where I went, and my cousin took me to go and play camogie with her team, and then she also took us up a hill, and then me and Holly then went out in a kayak, and it was just a total different experience of like being in Ireland and getting to kind of do fun things rather than just and I think I want to do that with every holiday now. It's like, can we go and run and go and explore? Can we go and kayak? Can we go on a hill? And I even did that for a honeymoon as well, wasn't it? Oh, my honeymoon. No, not honeymoon.
You didn't go on honeymoon.
Hendu. My Hendu. I was like, I don't want to just sit at a pool or sit in a pub. I'm like, I want to go on adventures, and I think I'm really like that, aren't I? So that was really cool to be able to do that with my cousins in Ireland for the first time. And then I think we also went to see Kevin Hart in Glasgow.
I love how you have photos. I don't even have photos.
And that was me. Cool. Yeah, that was us. Yeah.
Amazing. May, we went to Copenhagen. We went on a Segway tour, which is actually more difficult to control a Segway than you actually think it is going to be. So that was fun and enjoyable. I was supposed to be doing a High Rocks, which never happened. They ended up cancelling it. So we still ended up going with my mum and Barry. We love to be able to go away and travel with them. It's one of our kind of favourite things to do. We like doing the same things, and we just basically base all of our trips off of what restaurants are we going to eat at and where are we now going to go and have food. And we went to like
adventures as well, which I love.
And we went to a food market, didn't we?
Yeah, Refin.
Mm-hmm. Is that what it was? Yeah, which is incredible. Just every single type of food you could possibly imagine. And I wish that I had an infinite appetite that I could just go and try all these different foods, which was really, really, really cool. And then it was one of our friends, Tom and Amy's wedding in Spain. So we went from Copenhagen the Wednesday to the Sunday, and then I think we got back at 2:00 in the afternoon, and then we got a flight at 6:00 the next day to Spain, which was a bit of a crazy turnaround. Then we went to Spain for a week for their wedding, which was beautiful and really good fun, which was enjoyable. We managed to get a steal on a villa, which was great, although the weather actually wasn't that brilliant. And then finally in May, I competed in High Rocks World Championships with Mr. Mark Stratton, and whilst it was a great event, probably the most notable was I came out of the venue and I had a text message on my phone basically saying, we've blocked your card because you've now been spending money in Argos. So I rang Leanne and was like, have you been using my card in Argos? She was like, no. I rang my mum because she manages a lot of like my finances and accounts and stuff like that. And I was like, have we been spending any money in Argos? She was like, nope. And then got back to the car, opened the car, and went into the glove box to get my wallet and to get my other like business phone, and it wasn't there. And it was so weird because I was like, am I seeing things? Or am I just, I was like, am I going mad? because I was like, I'm sure I left my wedding ring, my phone, and my wallet in this glove box. And we went to the boot, and then the boys were like, have you lost your phone and your wallet? I was like, yeah. And they're like, our suitcases are gone. My suitcase was still there basically because I have shit clothes. And so the people that have robbed their suitcases obviously looked at my clothes out of my suitcase and thought, I don't really want, none of that's worth anything. And actually, I don't want that. And the funny thing was that they had chucked their stinky boxes and a high performance coach hoodie out of their suitcase. So that was still lying in the boot. And we had protein donuts in the back. And basically, they had got into the car. They had sat in the back of the car, eaten our protein donuts, smoked a joint, stole my wallet and stole my phone, stole the lad's suitcase, and then locked the car and then left. And this was all on CCTV as well. It was parked in an NCP car park. So then we spent a good few hours trying to obviously retrieve these and sort out the police and everything else. And it was just an absolute nightmare. So yeah, that was probably a memorable moment in May that I had as well. So yeah, they're probably the three things that I've got.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, I've got on the 7th of May, me and some of the Lead Her ladies went and climbed a Munro, which was pretty challenging, but also hugely rewarding. We try and at least do like one Munro a year. So that was that done. Also, like you said, going to Copenhagen, and we also did the Segway, but we also hired bikes. And I've got a picture here on a bike.
Oh yeah.
And when I was younger, I used to love cycling, but I don't know what it is. Like whenever I get on something now, like a bike or a Segway, I don't know if it's like an adult thing, but I honestly feel on edge. So I think the way with the bike as well, so I would normally like cycle and then hold my feet still, but if you did that, it braked. Or I used to always wind my feet back or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this bike, every time like you would go to pull the pedal back up, it would break the bike. So it just took me forever to like feel comfortable on that bike.
Yeah.
Even though it was lovely, and I did enjoy it eventually, but I always feel really nervous when I'm doing this. It's the same with like skiing. I've just got this fear of like falling and hurting myself.
Yeah, you're going to become a pro cyclist this year then?
Yeah, I know. I think it's just you don't do it. But honestly, I used to love cycling, but it's just now I don't know. I just get really scared at doing things. But when I feel scared, I'm like, right, you need to do it. It's the same with the skiing. It's like you're going to the only way you can overcome this is by doing it. It's just you don't get to do it often enough. Yeah. Same with skiing.
So interesting, isn't it? When you're a child, you literally have no fear whatsoever, and then as soon as you become an adult, you have all these constraints that you put yourself that stop you from doing it.
Yeah, and I'm just like, that way when the bike wobbles and you feel you're going to crash into someone, and also like when you're abroad and you're in Europe and the people are driving on the other side of the road, there's just so many things to think about. I just feel a little bit uncomfortable and not safe.
Yes.
But I survived. And it was still lovely. And then I've got us at Amy and Tom's wedding, which was really good. We were really lucky with the weather. It was also amazing weather in Copenhagen as well, wasn't it?
Was, yes.
Yeah, it was class. That's us. I've actually not said much for that month.
There we go.
That's us.
Good. So June we had another one of our friends, Craig and Laura's wedding, which was nice down in Nottingham, wasn't it? Which was good fun.
Again, amazing weather.
Yeah, really good weather. I went away with the team to I can't actually remember even where it's called. Dunoon. There we go. Good job you're here. And then I also went up to Strathcarron in Kenmore as one of our clients, Christian. I was doing the Keltman, which is an extreme triathlon. So it was obviously cool just to go up and experience that. Although the midgies were absolutely outrageous. It was crazy, got eaten to death. But that was a really, really good experience. And again, was a fantastic day in terms of the weather side of things. And then we also went away as well, didn't we, to, what's that place?
Look.
Yeah, I can't remember what the hotel was called. Which was a wedding gift, which was also really nice, and the weather was fantastic then.
I remember what it's called.
So some good.
Probably should have researched the name of that program.
Some good trips away. Oh, and it was our wedding anniversary.
Yay! Where did we go for that?
I took a photo of that.
Yeah,
I've got a photo of that. So we went to Glen Eagles and we had a beef Wellington, which was absolutely amazing. So that was good. Yeah. So that was the main thing. Oh, and then I went to the Pyrenees.
Oh, was that then as well?
Yeah, wow. I went and cycled up some Tour de France mountains with Dan and a couple of the other guys as well. Nick and Ben, and also Aaron came along as well to video it, which was brilliant. Just climbing 2,000 meters of incredible hills. Well, they're not really
boring.
hills; they're probably more mountains. So that was a really, really good experience as well. We've got some great weather, and yeah, just amazing, just breathtaking, absolutely breathtaking. Apart from the ridiculous drive that we had to do to get there, it was like 4 days of two or 3 days of driving for 4 days of cycling. It was crazy, but yeah, great experience.
Wild. Yeah, I've got the same, but so same as you. But I'll just add that me and one of our lead her members, Alana, did like kind of fitness games, which was really cool. There was actually a team, 2 boys, 2 girls, and we just did loads of like really kind of crazy fitness events. So yeah, we did really well. We really enjoyed it. We had some fun. So I've got a picture of us at that, and we actually won. Well, we joined second place or first place or something. Can't remember what it was, but the lady that we went joint with didn't live in the location, so she ended up just giving us it, and it was like an ice cream voucher, which we still haven't used yet because the weather was crap after June. But I'll need to see when it's valid and maybe take Alana for an ice cream.
Yeah, you love ice cream.
Yeah, I love ice cream.
Well, actually, we should get an ice cream today.
Oh, I don't know. But I've got a picture of our anniversary as well for the beef Wellington.
You look great
we
there.
did that.
You look great there as well.
Thank you. As do you. But we had fizzy prosecco, rosy kind of champagne stuff, and it was honestly incredible, wasn't it?
Yes.
And then the beef Wellington, we made that for New Year, for Christmas this year, because of that day. We'd never had beef Wellington before. I hadn't. That was the first time I had beef Wellington. Oh my god, it's like my new favourite thing. And for you love beef, like pie.
I love pie.
Pie and pastry.
Pie
so
and
it's
pastry,
like exactly what
pie,
we kind of
pastry,
need
steak,
in our life. And you look very handsome there too. So June's again really quiet for me. But yeah, we went away to let me see if it's on here. Loch Foyle.
I can't remember what the hotel was
It's called.
But it was an incredible place.
Is that it?
Monacal man more. Easy for me to say. Go on, you pronounce it then.
Is it not like Moore House or something it's called?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a really, really quirky place, isn't it? And one of our lead tower members and one of your clients as well, Emma and Scott, got us a voucher for this for our wedding. So it was really, really cool. We'd never really heard of it before. But there's loads of like different buildings you can stay in that are like tree houses and horse shacks and stuff. But we just kind of stayed in the main hotel, but the food was incredible, wasn't it? And again, we were really, really lucky with the weather because I think it changed the day after that. And we also got to take Lola away because we always love a little staycation with Lola, don't we?
Yep.
It's like our favourite thing.
Yep, we absolutely love that.
Halfway there.
July, are we on July now?
July.
Are we on July?
Yep.
Okay. July, we went away to the Lake District. So our house was getting renovated, obviously off the back of the flood that we had.
Finally.
So
New Year's Eve to July.
Well, or pretty much August.
No kitchen.
Yeah.
Awful.
So we went to Lake District and we found a really nice little quirky house, which was brilliant. We stayed there for the week, which was really, really cool. And then I ran a kind of barbecue and games down in the Lake District at one of our clients, Lee's gyms. We played touch rugby, football, had a barbecue, which was really good fun. So that was enjoyable. We then also had Craigie's wedding up in Blairgowrie, which was epic. That was
Sophie's wedding. That's the ones that had the baby. That was a
really good day. So yeah, they're probably the two main things. And we also went in the cryo chamber as well for the first time.
What's that?
It's basically where you go in and it's like minus 100 and whatever degrees. It's an incredibly fancy piece of kit, and you quite often will get them in like elite sporting facilities. But we went to a recovery hub in Glasgow, which was cool. So we did
really
that.
Interesting to try.
Yeah, really, really interesting. It's just basically like the way in which I describe it is like go and stand out in the snow in your pants.
Yeah. Or if you've ever worked in a supermarket before and there's the big freezers,
yeah.
If you were to go and stand in those freezers, like in your pants for like 30 seconds, it's basically that.
Pretty much. That's what it felt like.
Basically is that.
Yeah.
So I've got the same when we went down to Dumfries and we stayed in that little lodge place. It was so cute. It was so lovely. But down at the front of the sea, they had like a little beach hut that you could sit in. So I've got a picture of me, you and Lola just sat there with our hot chocolates. And it was again nice knowing that the kitchen was finally getting done. I've got a picture of like all our friends at the wedding, so it's like we're all sat in the line while Craig and Sophie are getting married, and I don't know, I just like love, because I went to uni with all these, we went to the same university, so like even though they're all kind of Joe's friends, I knew them, through being at the same university as well. And it's just like their girlfriends are there and they've got kids now and they're all married. I think there's only like 3 people maybe that aren't married yet. But I just love like little moments like that when it just brings everybody together at a wedding with those guys. So I just love having that snap of like the full team down the aisle. I've got the Cairo chamber as well because I had to wear a ridiculous outfit. You just went in your shorts, didn't you? In your socks.
Yes.
Whereas like I don't know if it's like a female thing, but like I had to wear like I look like I'm about to play dodgeball. I had like a blue towel vest on, towel trousers on, a hat on, a face mask, and gloves.
You look like a Smurf.
Got to do it like a Smurf and big long socks, and it's all just to protect you. Because if you touch this fridge thing, it'll burn you. Like, and cold burns are just as bad as hot burns, aren't they? So I look ridiculous. So I've got a photo of that because it does make you laugh. We also did go ape with our Lead Her ladies, which again, like just that older adult thing, I was pooing my pants and I was last to go. I let all the other girls go together because we were a person down, I think, and you go down the zip line together at the start. So the girls, I let them all go first, and then I came at the end, and I seen them all ahead, absolutely killing it, and I was like, oh my god, I am pooing my pants right now. You're walking on like a really thin wire between the trees, and you're so high off the ground, and you get that wee bit of vertigo, where you're like, oh my god, what am I doing? And I was like, why have I organised this? Like, I was hoping they were all okay, but everybody just like got their head down and got on with it, and I think everybody was scared and nervous, but again, like that's where you get your confidence from, isn't it? When you complete something like that and you're like, I actually did that. I think you really kind of grow confidence in those moments. So yeah, it was a really kind of fun day out for the girls. And then I've got just a picture of barbecue at your event. And that's it.
Nice.
Yep.
August was a little bit quieter. We went to the rugby, which is also a highlight.
Oh, was that August? Yeah.
I can't remember who we were. Oh, it was Scotland versus France before the World Cup.
Yeah.
So that was enjoyable. That was really, really good. We also went to Devon for a few days, which was also nice. The weather was good. What else happened? That was pretty much, I would say, August. I went for a quick trip to Spain for one of my friend's 30th birthdays, literally for 2 days, which was cool. Really good to see him as he lives in America just now. So literally just flew out, pretty much spent 24 hours and then flew back. Yeah, that was probably the main thing that happened in the month of August. Nothing else too exciting, I don't believe.
Lovely. Well, you're in the bad books again, but you weren't there, so it's fine. But it was my mum's birthday.
I wasn't. Again, you don't have photos.
I know, but you weren't there. It's my mum's 61st birthday. She doesn't look 60. It's weird to think
no, your mum looks great.
That are in their 60s. So we just went for a wee afternoon tea down at Loch Lomond on the front. And yeah, I just love any kind of time you get with your parents. Same with grandparents. It's just special time, just the two of us as well, which was nice. I've also got a picture of us. Again, we must have went back down to Devon.
Yeah, we went to Devon, yeah. In August.
Yeah, what for?
Can't remember. To see everybody, because we love everybody.
Normally we tie it in with something though, but maybe it was just for your granddad's birthday.
Yeah, it was for Barry, my granddad's birthday. Yeah, you're correct.
So there's a lot of birthdays in August. So we're back down in Devon, and I've got a picture with a Hawkins ice cream.
Yes.
If you're ever in Devon,
we got fish and chips as well, didn't we?
But yeah, but that wasn't that enjoyable.
No, didn't make us all feel a bit crap. I don't really like
fish and chips. Like, I love the smell of it, but when I eat it, I'm like,
it's a bit of an anticlimax, isn't it?
I just don't like it, and I think it's like the beige and the oil. I always feel like my tummy stings the next day when I have fish and chips. So yeah, I'm not a fish and chips fan. But what is the difference with Hawkins ice cream and normal ice cream?
They make it with clotted cream, I think.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Yeah.
So it's a picture of me and Lola with Hawkins ice cream. And then I've got a picture of our event that we are doing in January. It's January the 28th, if you would like to come along. So there's a picture of me at the event. I wanted to go and see it. I wanted to get a nice building where it's really cool, really funky, really spacious as well, because we're going to be doing a choreographed dance at the end by Nick Thompson. So that was me picking the event. I got a little photo took there so I could remember what it looked like. So I booked that in August as well.
Oh, there's a really good croissant.
Yeah, that's a month after.
Oh, is it? Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
What month? We're on August. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
nearly there.
So September, we went to Ibiza. So we spoke at an event with one of our good friends, Matt. He was running an event out there. So we went out to Ibiza for a week, which was cool. We went on the wildest flight of our lives to Ibiza. We were probably the only two people that thought actually it'd be really good to get on a plane and do some work for a few hours and then realize that you're on a flight to Ibiza. And we were sat in front of 6 of the craziest people who were just going mental. The first thing they did was started playing
They had their own boombox.
Yeah, they had their own speaker. They were dancing in the aisles. They were being sick. It was slut dropping in the aisles. It was hell of an experience. It was best flight I've ever been on. And so yeah, we had that, which was so interesting. And then obviously on the way home, it was a complete polar opposite. It's just like bodies all over Ibiza airport. But that was really, really nice. We went out for some nice dinner, had some nice sushi. Matt ran an amazing event as well, which was really, really good. And yeah, you could just see the time, effort, and energy and the detail that went into it, which was brilliant. So that was really fun. I got a nice photo of us on a boat, and yeah, mainly eating good quality food more so than anything else. So that was pretty much our biggest highlight, or my biggest highlight in September.
What day is that? Yeah, I've only picked like one photo from September. I think like
Which
I'm
is
trying to
eating.
do this podcast is in like maybe one photo from each month, and I was like, nah, that's far too hard. So I've just got a picture of us in Ibiza in September with, I think we got like did we get 100-piece sushi or something?
Oh, it's like 75, I think. I don't think it was 100
pieces of sushi. I'm allergic to shellfish, so like it's really rare that you can get like a big, massive board of it without. Josh just showing me pictures of Lola in the background. A big board of it without crab or without prawns or tempura. Or is that the same as prawns? I don't know.
Yes.
But anyway, this place had just full Leanne can eat board, so I was like, let's get it. So yeah, it was absolutely incredible. Honestly, I think sushi is one of my absolute favourite things now.
Yeah, we're going for sushi later, aren't we?
So yeah, I don't have anything else, but yeah, we went to Ibiza. It was lovely. We went to Matt's event, which was really, really cool, yeah, met loads of other awesome coaches as well. And I think it was a nice little moment for me to kind of realise that I'm not far off where I want to be as well. So yeah, it was a good event.
Yeah, really, really good. Yeah, really good experience. Absolutely loved it. October was pretty much the move to Spain. So I had my event at BT Murrayfield, or Scottish Gas Murrayfield. So that was obviously a huge personal thing for me. We love Murrayfield. I love taking my parents, grandparents to Murrayfield. It's probably our favourite thing to do, isn't it? To go and watch the rugby, to go and have some haggis and eat some tatties. And it's just a great experience. I just think it's such a wholesome day. So Murrayfield always holds a very special place in our heart. So to be able to run an event in Murrayfield was brilliant. So we had 100 of our coaches now come up to Edinburgh. We trained, took everybody for dinner at Fazenda, which was also spectacular.
Oh yeah, really,
and then obviously had Murrayfield, which was cool. We got a bagpipist, so he was actually able to pipe everybody in, which was also brilliant. And then yeah, we obviously drove from Scotland through to Folkestone, to Lyon, to Valencia, spent a couple of days in Valencia, and then to Spain at the end of October as well, which is something that we were really looking forward to off the back of the previous year. So they were probably the two biggest highlights. And we love race across the world, don't we? And sometimes we always think about the travel that we do from Scotland to Spain as almost like a little bit of a race mini race across the world.
A mini posh one, because we're not slumming it all the way down, are we?
You've got a car to drive in, whereas they have to get buses, trains, plane. They're not allowed planes, and any other form of transport to be able to get there. So yeah, we really like that trip and travel and experience. It's a nice chance to listen to podcasts, drink some coffee, see the world, and yeah, I really like actually the experience, and we just love taking Lola places.
Yeah, and it gets warmer the further you come down. On the way home, it's not as fun, is it?
On the way home, it's actually not. No, it gets worse because you're just driving back from good weather to bad weather.
Yeah.
But on the way down, it's amazing, yes.
But we're trying to set, like, because we need to plan our way home. Like, we literally leave next week and we've not even planned it. That's like the story of our life, isn't it? We're so last minute with a lot of things. So we leave.
Are we?
We leave on Thursday next week. Currently, it's what? What day is it? This is
Saturday.
Saturday. We've not planned our trip home yet, but we are trying to think of the positives of going home. And normally, like when we're on holiday, our positive of going home is seeing Lola, because we're so excited to get back and see her. Whereas when Lola's with us, it's like, oh, like what are we going back for? Like, we've got us three, that's all we kind of need. But what's your things? Like, for me, going home this time, I have bought some gym clothing from a lady I met in Marbella, who owns We Are Enough, and her clothing looks lovely. So I'm excited to go and get that. And she also put in some extra gifts for me, which is so lovely. So I can't wait to get home and see what she sent me. I've also got Lola a new collar, and I'm also really looking forward to like getting the fire on and getting nice and cozy. What are you looking forward to? Or coffee cups.
Coffee cups. I do like the fire.
Yep.
And yeah, there is something wholesome about being back at home. Definitely, I do like going back. I do. There is again. I do like being back at home. But I'm also looking forward to not being back at a new driveway.
Oh yeah, we got a new driveway.
Yeah.
Our driveway was turning into moss and mud.
Yep.
It really needed done.
Oh, and the Six Nations.
Six Nations will be starting in February. So yeah, we've got things that, it's the little things, isn't it, that always make you feel good and happy. So we're trying to think of all these little things that we're excited to get home to, and hopefully we get home to a normal kitchen, a nice, lovely kitchen this year.
Yeah,
it's not being demolished by rain.
Here's hoping.
Yeah.
Here is
okay,
hoping.
I totally sidetracked there. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, so I've got the same. We were at your event in Murrayfield, which was amazing. And then we literally left week after?
4 or 5 days after, yeah.
Straight after we came down here, and I've just got a picture here of the prettiest pano chocolate I think I've ever seen in my life. I got out. I think like when we're trying to travel down, I'm like, right, let's make the most of like being in Leon for the first time ever. Let's make the most of that time. It's, like, we're only there for like 5 hours, aren't we? And then we get up and we leave the next day. But I was like determined. I was like, we need to go to a bakery in France, and we need to go out for some lovely local French wine and cheese. So I'm just trying to squeeze everything in this 5 hours. But on the way home, we went to a bakery. It was absolutely pissing it down, wasn't it? It was horrible in Leon. So we quickly got into this bakery. It was as French as you could get. And I've got this picture of this pano chocolate, and it's just like you can see every single layer. It was incredible. Then we went to Valencia. I've got a picture of us at the fountain in Valencia, and it was funny. I was getting Joe to take a video of me at every stop, high-fiving Lola to make into a reel. It was worth it in the end, wasn't it? You had no idea what I was doing, but I was like, trust me. I've got a picture of you walking down to the beach in Spain that we did last year, because it's just that vision of, we love being there, and it's just you and Lola walking to the beach, which is lovely. Lola got her first haircut in Spain, and it was very short. She looks so funny, didn't she? So shaggy to like no hair. And then then we're in November. So yeah, that was us. We arrived in Spain.
Yes, so good. And November was just, we love training at Elements. We love just being able to get up first thing in the morning. We love being an hour ahead. And then whenever we go anywhere, our routine stays exactly the same. So we just get up, we train, we walk the dog, we have our coffee, have our shake, have a ginger can, and then just crack on with work for the day. And then we'll have a poke bowl,
ginger can, which
eat some, go out for another walk, and then that's pretty much us. So it was, again, like, we just love having the same routine, the same structure, but just in a slightly different environment, with slightly better weather, which was always welcomed and enjoyable. We had my granddad come to stay. We had my auntie and uncle come and stay. We had your mum come and stay.
Yeah,
we ran. Was that November? And so yeah, it was just really nice to be able to welcome people out and spend some good quality time with them, eat some good food, did some training, did some running, did some barbecuing, did lots of working. But yeah, just nice to be able to spend some time with people and just travel and experience and have some sunshine. And then also was that in November?
Mm-hmm.
I thought we were doing October. Oh yeah, it is November. And then in November, my little brother had a baby boy, Reggie, with Chelsea.
First grandchild in the family.
Yeah, first grandchild. We haven't yet seen him.
Or first niece and nephew, first nephew.
But he looks incredibly cute, so we're looking forward to seeing him.
Yeah.
So yeah, very excited for that. And yeah, that's pretty much, I think, November for us. Oh, and then I ran an event in November for our coaches. So we had 22 of our coaches come out. We trained, took everybody for dinner, and then we had a day on the beach and just played beach football and ate ice cream and stuff like that. So that was also really fun.
Cool, brilliant. I have got a beautiful picture of your granddad and you, with the sun setting behind them both. They loved it, didn't they? They really loved kind of coming out. I think last year when we came out, people people didn't really kind of come, and this year everyone's like, right, we're coming, we need some winter sun. And again, they always come up to Scotland at least once a year and come and stay with us. Coming back to a grandparent thing, I love to kind of be able to kind of do that and spend time with them, because normally if we're down in Devon, we'll go to theirs for dinner and everybody's there and it's so busy and so noisy, you don't really get that kind of one-to-one time. So we always like to kind of have them come and visit at least once a year. So this year they decided to do it in Marbella. And again, coming up to Scotland from Devon is like, what, an hour, 2 hour flight. So it was pretty much the same travel distance for them. So yeah, I think they really enjoyed it. But it was just lovely to take them for sunset, wasn't it? Again, we're really lucky with the weather. I've got a picture of Lola at the beach and she looks like she's flying and her ears are up and she's just looking so happy. So I had to share that as a highlight. We've also got a picture of Lola at Tarifa. So Tarifa is past Estepona.
It's the most southerly point.
Yep, there's a lot of windsurfing, is that right? Windsurfing place. It is gorgeous and there's a big runway down the middle of the ocean there. And one side is the Mediterranean Ocean, one side is Atlantic Ocean, and it's where they kind of combine. So it's just like beautiful, like Caribbean beaches. I just didn't expect it until we got there. And we did that with your Auntie Sarah and Chris. So that was really, really gorgeous. I loved that. And then your Marbella event, it was just really nice to see people in the sun, and we sat in the sun and ate good food and trained hard, and yeah, it was just really nice kind of fun day. And then also Reggie being born, first baby of the family.
Yeah, crazy. Right, last one.
Babies and weddings.
Last one.
My mum came out, which is really cool. So
she loved it.
Yeah, she loved it as well. But every year I try, like I started it after my little sister's 18th birthday, because it was during lockdown, and I was like, right, for your 18th, I'll take you away on holiday when we can. But it got to kind of the end of the year and it was still kind of lockdown, you still couldn't travel abroad. So I was like, why don't we just go to London and again do the Christmas markets? And it just became a thing, and I think I tried to make it a thing again, just like, although my little sister's only 18, 19, I think when she's older she'll really appreciate those holidays, just the three of us. I could obviously invite my brother and stuff, but I think it was nice, the three girls, and maybe always making it kind of Christmas market related. But this year Chloe is now an adult and she is working in a dental practice doing her dental nurse qualification, so she couldn't get the time off. And so mum came out herself with her friend Mary, and it was just really good to kind of spend some time with them. We also, I've got one of our first pictures together in Spain because we didn't get any photos taken together, but went out for, again, more incredible sushi.
Yeah, my phone is literally just photos of Lola training and us eating food.
Yeah, we did the reef night with the Lead Her Ladies, so we just did a little craft night where we all went on Zoom, and one of our members, Alana, again, she's an art teacher, so she went and showed us all how to make this little reef from macaron, I think it's called. It's quite tricky, quite hard, but the girls did a really good job, and it was just a good laugh, just to kind of get a glass of wine and slow down a little bit during the crazy festive time. I've got a picture of me and Lola in Portimao, which is like the cutest photo ever. We're looking back at the camera. I've got a picture of me with an Aperol Spritz in the sunset again. It was just so beautiful. And Lola's in the background. I've got a picture of Lola with her parasol on the beach. I've got quite a few for December. I've got a picture of us with ice cream.
Oh, ice cream is so good.
A picture of Lola with your jacket on, which is so funny looking. And yeah, that's me. I've pretty much finished the year there. And it was your birthday 2 days ago.
Yeah, it's crazy when you reflect and you look back and you actually think about all the things, because every time goes so fast, and you actually then don't necessarily acknowledge or appreciate actually how much you've done, or the little moments, the little memories, the little experiences. And again, like I was listening to a podcast a little while ago, and one big thing that the person was speaking about was like, you have a return on investment, but you also have return on experience. And quite often, again, when you look for your camera roll, that you're not taking photos for like Instagram or social media, you're actually just taking photos just for memories and experiences that you can now look back on and you can almost reminisce, which is quite nice to do, isn't it?
Yeah, which I absolutely love taking a photo for that reason.
Yeah.
Is to kind of look back, and it's that great little kind of reminder. But I know a lot of people maybe don't like getting a photo taken and they therefore avoid it. But I think a lot of time, like, again, sometimes I'll get photos taken and I won't love maybe the way my hair looks or the way my face is or whatever, but I always just try and remember myself that, like, this is a picture of this moment, like this time with you, or time with family, time with friends. Like, don't delete it. Or sometimes like I'll just say to myself, like if I don't like a photo, I'm like, don't delete it, just leave it on your phone for a couple of weeks. Like especially holiday photos, don't delete them right away and go, oh yuck, I look disgusting, which I know so many women do. Just leave it on your phone, because I know when you come back from your holiday and we're back in the cold and the dark and the wet and back to normal life, we'll look back at those photos and we'll actually remember the moments of like, oh, that was such a good time. And you actually might look back at that photo with so much more love than straight away looking for all the flaws within yourself as well. So that's a thing that I've really done over the years, and I think that's really helped build my confidence, is just to kind of sit with a photo, and I always come back and I've got a different thought process behind that photo.
Yes, it's just in the moment, isn't it? When you just look at it with so much emotion, but it's not until you detach yourself from that and you reflect, and then you're like, oh, actually, you know.
Yep.
So I hear you 100%.
One other thing before I go as well, I've started doing live photos because I actually love the moment as well, where you can hold it and you can hear everybody laughing. So for example, the photo with all our friends, I can hold that in and see everybody moving, and I can hear they're laughing.
Yeah.
And I can hear people saying stupid stuff, and it just straight away brings you back to the moment. So I definitely recommend live photos as well. They're my favourite. And you can add them into reels, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's fun.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Worth doing?
I love looking back through photos. Mainly, like I say, I love when we just look back at photos and all we do is typically look at photos of Lola.
Yeah,
that's pretty
totally
much
do.
it. But actually,
especially
it's nice.
As a puppy as
Yeah,
well.
but it is nice to reflect back and just then, and it allows you then to actually appreciate what you've done. And also, there's things that you think that you weren't going to do, but then you went and did, and you're like, oh, you're now glad that you made that decision to actually go and do that thing. Because I know sometimes you sit there like, shall we do this? Shall we do this? And then actually, again, when you look back at it, it's like, oh, actually, I'm really glad that we decided to not sit on the sofa and go and do that thing that day, because it's stuff like that you can sit back and reflect on.
Yeah, right. If I'll be honest, and if I can actually be bothered, I'll maybe share some of the photos that we spoke about today, but I'm not going to promise it because it'll probably take me a chunk of time to do. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed it today, and it's also maybe gave you some encouragement. Again, you could sit down with your partner or your friends or your family and do this together, because it does just bring out, again, so many stories we hadn't even planned to tell today just come into mind. And I just think we're always just living life for what's next, and it's 20 miles per hour or 50 miles per hour, 60 miles per hour, 100 miles per hour.
We're getting faster.
Yeah, we're getting faster, that we're not just taking that wee bit of time to pause and reflect, and that's probably took us like maybe an hour or so to do that. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. I hope you all have an incredible new year. And I'll hopefully see some of you at our live event in January, which I'm really, really looking forward to, and I'll be sending more details of that in the description as well. But have an amazing new year, and we'll catch you all in 2024.
Thank you. Amazing. Let's eat.